the cost of installation, because the original people who will give us a decision if we can move forward or not, we will attempt to put solar panels on top of Cromer. Second idea that I was talking with Clayton also, I kind of came up with the idea for like an app for like all the activities that came up at the LAR. So, does any of you have Android by any chance?
Yeah.
Can you go to the Apple Store? Google Store, please, and type Bears events. So Android, it's kind of like a cheaper developer account, so I bought it just for fun. But then iOS, it's more expensive, so I haven't done it yet. The App Store, and then in the App Store, if you can type Bears events, yeah, the first one, and try to download that. Yeah.
You can also get it on your phone. It's just like a bookmark type deal.
Yeah, I will do it later for right now. Hello, Katie.
Hey, Katie. Good to see you.
Texted you to say hi, I'm on my way.
I saw that other folks reported in. We're good. We just started.
Okay. Katie, do you remember like the app I was playing around last semester, last year? I don't remember.
I'd have to think about it for a minute.
Like the combo app.
Yes,
I
yes.
kind of like jump back again to that and like expand it into like athletics events and public events as well, so it's not just combo. And since we are SGA this year, we can like take ownership of that and run it ourselves and be responsible for the app. So I like redo it and did it for Android, which like the developer account is only $25, so I just went free and paid just for fun. And then the problem like for iOS, you pay $100 per year. So I just want to mention kind of, if we would like to move forward with the idea, I can develop it for iOS, which is not a lot of work. And then updating it, I would like to do like a week update. I would just show the activities in 1 week time frame. Emily, if you have Android and you have the app, you can like show it around so they can see it.
It's like loading.
Click it.
Bear one.
Oh, I have to click
Here's
it?
events.
Oh!
Yeah. It has like a menu and then click one. It has like an
Possibly this or
icon.
just this.
Yes, like plural.
I just selected sport.
It's just for Android.
I don't know
And
if
then
everybody
it
does.
takes you.
It's loading.
Yeah, there you go.
Now it is. Look at it.
So it's basically.
Howdy!
I love that word. I'm
Open
sorry.
and it says, howdy there! I was like, oh, I'm going to sports.
Go to sports.
It is on sports.
So it's basically something very simple. Just show you a picture of the event,
Categories.
very generic, and then the details, the information. Because what I think is too difficult to go to the portal and like look for what combos are there. I myself manually add it into that. What I do is I create an app. The app will take you to a website. I own like a random domain, so right now it doesn't. It's whatever name the domain. And I create like the website and I update it. It's very simple. It just takes me half an hour to update like a week, so it's not a lot of time. So what I would like to propose to SGA, if you agree and you want to move forward, will be developing for iOS and also buy like a domain that it will be bearsevents.com or like or whatever.
So my question is, how would that be like updated in the future?
Who does it later after he graduates? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. This is the problem I'm facing right now. Somehow it can be doing like automatically update. I don't have the knowledge, and if I want to hire like a programmer, like an expert to do it, it will cost too much money, and I don't think it's worth it. So what I can do is like to the next SGA members, kind of show them how to do it, since it's not a lot of work. If they can like continue, if they would like to.
So I went to the digital signage meeting like a week or two ago with the new Orca TV platform.
Yeah, it was a little confusing when you talked about it.
But like it's like a website that
It's the
has
same thing.
like
We'll have all the events.
yeah, it has all the events just like digital flyers, just like on one page. So I don't know if you could work with them and then compare that and like that's automatically updating, and they said we could contact them with any ideas or anything like that. So I don't know if you could connect them with your app.
And they also add like
What is
social
like the
media
website, like the company?
Orca TV. ORCA.
ORCA, like a
Whale.
dot
Dot
TV.
I think it's .TV.
TV.
I've got the contact names. It's Cherry.
So
I know, mine would
What?
help me.
So anyone on
Trick
campus can
chairs.
just submit a flyer online,
Uh-huh.
and it'll say a start date and an end date. And you know the screen in Cromer?
Uh-huh.
It's that is like the video feed version.
Mhm.
But then if you go on like orca.tv/LR or something, then it's just like a website that you can just scroll and it has like all the digital posters that are rolling through the stream.
So it will be
So
very
student flyers would have to come, will ultimately come through our office to make sure that they've been approved and make sure the locations and things like that. And so, which we haven't worked out if it's Becky or me or whoever, but, which I don't know, and since I wasn't able to be at the meeting, what I don't know is if they're going to upload all the convos, or if it'd just be a selection of people who are advertising their convo would push theirs, but not everybody might be pushing their stuff, so.
what I do is I go to all like the portals like combos events for that they're already been approved and they're like officially
Right, and so you're
presented.
checking them.
So I just copy and paste them.
Right.
What I don't have is the like for example if the sorority is doing an event, they can make the flyer but
Right. 'Cause
it's
sometimes-
not in the website, the LA
Yeah.
website.
So a lot of events, so some of the events might be like, Zeta Tau Alpha may be doing, a breast cancer awareness thing. And that's not gonna be a convo necessarily, it might be, but probably not a convo, but it might have an event they're not push.
What I would like to do is
Correct, they push the event, but not the convo part.
as long for example as they wanna we can say just send it to whatever email. If they wanna like send the content we can add it. It's very simple. It's like a WordPress website. You just create a post, title, picture, done.
Or even other events, like CAD events.
Do you have a,
Yeah.
do you have like an
Just
LCD?
activities going on.
So that was like the start and I was wondering like what you guys think.
Well, that's what mine's up
Uh,
there. 'Cause yours,
I would say talk to somebody
No,
in
mine's,
like
Central
computer
Eight.
science program or IT or something like that to see if they could get
That's what
like
I
a
prefer.
programmer, a student programmer
Mhm.
that would do that.
She got it too. It's on the Play
That'd be
Store.
super
It's
helpful.
on Google
It's
Play.
only for Android.
Google Play, right.
Google Play.
Only-
Yeah,
only
that's
for
if you're
Android.
at Android.
It's not for
I got
iOS.
a Google Play here somewhere.
My only thought is like, I feel like if there's too many platforms for advertising events on campus,
That's what I
then it's gonna be.
that's what I wanna tackle because there's too many flyers, too many words of mouth. So I just wanna narrow down all the events just in one place.
But the problem is if we're using Orca TV
Right.
and that,
Right.
then I feel like people might do one or the other.
Gotcha. So, I mean, and like I say, and I think that's something that y'all kind of gotta wrestle with a little bit on, you know, what you think is the best format. We're working with Orca only because we have other things we can do with the TVs around campus, like all the TVs plus all the, like, if you're in a dorm room or something, you can actually access some of the stuff, and so you can actually watch, you know, whatever, and we
The
can
screen
stream
that
other
goes
stuff,
on
so.
there, or you can watch it on TV.
I like, cause when, Santiago brought this last year, when we were looking at this app, it really was an amazing thing. I think the challenge was is how do we make sure it's updated all the time and
Yes.
that kind of thing, and that was really the only caveat was, you know, but if we're talking about a master universal calendar where everything is, I know that that's something that, Leah Math has talked about, the president is very much on his radar, that we need a master calendar, because if you go to the university calendar right now, you're gonna get only stuff that is reserved through campus. It's not gonna be an event that the track team is doing, or the team that Zeta's gonna do that's not in a certain building, you know, that kind of thing. So that's one of the challenges we've got, is there's cool stuff going on all over campus, but only certain things
Yeah.
get on those calendars, because they need resources as opposed to, hey, we're having this fun thing out in Shaw Plaza that didn't have to be reserved that day.
Okay, so the Orca TV, that's just on the TVs, right?
It's on the TVs, but you
So-
can get to the web, you can get to their website on a
Oh, so
phone.
the website you can see too, okay. I didn't know if there was
You can
like.
go to Orca TV, like /LR, and you can get the stuff. We would have to commit, if we didn't use the app, we'd have to commit to making sure somebody's putting all of the combos on there. And to be fair here, I'll tell you the last conversation I had with, the provost. We're talking about convos in terms of, you know, tracking. We've almost got that where we can actually track easier, so everybody can just see it on their MyLR account. Yeah, right about the time, yeah, we're working on that really hard, because we've got, part of it's there, and we're just getting them uploaded is the last phase, but we're talking about the idea of, is Convo, not to do away with Convos, but does Convo have to be a
Don't you dare.
graduation
Oh.
requirement? So we would want them there because we want students to go to them, but we want you to go because you wanna be there, not just because
You have
you're
to be there.
forcing to go there. So it'd be like, you know, we still have opening clothing and things like that, but we're starting that kind of conversation, so it may be a year from now, so anybody who's a senior, you can just go, well, probably not. But,
I need one more, man.
yeah.
One more.
So, but, I mean, those are real concerns, is that, you know, we wanna provide really cool events, and we don't wanna not have those things, cause it is important to go to those things. But is it important enough to say, you can't graduate if you really can't commit this?
Absolutely.
So, I think I like combo, I think it's a great thing.
Those two.
But-
Spoonful of sugar.
Yeah, well, I mean, and students come back, you know, 5, 6 years after the fact, who moaned about how bad, oh, I hate going to combo. But they're like, well, you know, actually, I kinda learned something from going to some of these other things, and yeah, I didn't like it at the time, but I see why we did it. So it's one of those, in retrospect, people go, well, it was good being kind of well-rounded.
Well, the thing too is we're not the only school that does combos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Winga
there's
did
a lot of
it, my
schools.
brother didn't get his done before he graduated. He couldn't graduate until he got his thing.
So yeah, there's a lot of schools that do this type of thing anyway, so, but it's a conversation. I think if there's a way to use this app, at least until the Orca
Yeah.
gets up, where it's really running, and if it turns out where it's as good or, you know, better remodels, that's one thing, if it has multi-functions and we really do everything, but I would hate to think that we lose out on an opportunity where people can get to things pretty
Yeah.
easily.
So what I like about like doing this, and the reason I'm doing this, it's if it doesn't work, it's cheap. It's only $125, and you get like the 2 platforms and like the website. So what if it succeeds and we can like put, for example, like the combo department, that people use more the app than they're like the social media. So instead of them using social media, they just start like using the app, and that's how they really advertise. Also, like I'm sure Orca is like a lot more like than 120, because they develop like something more complex. But if we can take like something minimum and just try it out, why not? It's like be a little bit innovative.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
I think if we developed like the app that just not the 3 things, like see if we can like make a sorority, like it's an sorority event and not just like a regular like event with different things.
What I would like to
See,
do
like,
is
that's
instead of
cool.
breaking into like 12 different categories, kind of like do sports, combo, and then like kind of general events.
You know?
So it will be writing series, all the arts and campus, sorority, spring bazaar, instead of breaking like too many sections.
Yeah, could you just do it like by day instead of having to click on the different things? That way you could just see what's happening that day.
So like they had like all of the day like already on there, and then if you wanted to go and see events in advance, and click on, you can click like those things.
So you
and
can
like-
sort by
Like,
events,
what's going
or you
on
can
next
sort by
week?
category, or you can sort by date. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No, I have a study by category. Then you scroll to the day. It's only 1 week, so it's not too many. Just 'cause it's more organized. Because sometimes you don't need combos. You're just interested in sport.
Who would own the domain after like you would leave? Like can you change ownership?
The domain can be transferred. Yes.
Great idea. I also talked about doing one of those for volunteer opportunities.
And we can put on the app like
Could we put that on
sponsored by
the app?
SGA.
I don't know.
We might could,
But they were,
I think you wanna make sure that, you'd have to answer that question about can you put, you know, volunteer type opportunities on the app. I think the one thing that you wanna be careful with is if the app is, you wanna make sure that things are very clearly labeled. Is this combo, cause you hate to have people right now, cause it's a requirement, you don't want people showing up and going, oh, I'm sorry, this one's not combo credit, or, you know, so that'd be the only thing, is just whatever it is, cause some there are convocations that are going out and doing community service versus something else, so I just think as long as it's clear as to, if you put things that are not combos on there.
That's what I like, the category thing. So it's like
Yeah.
all the combos just in one place.
Right.
Don't mess it up or anything.
Yeah,
it'd be a good place for volunteer opportunities.
yep,
Mm-hmm.
And you could have alerts like anything else.
Yep.
Maybe 20 people, 1 hour or so. Great idea. Good work.
So.
I could find it on my phone.
Well, if you got an Android, if not, give me another week.
I got it. Android, I'm just looking at it, nothing's happening.
user error.
User, it's supposed to be user
Sorry.
friendly. Oh, you're too busy, go ahead, it's all right.
Trash
Let's go
It
through
should,
the-
it should pop up anyway.
Let's get through the.
Yeah,
meeting.
those are like the 2 updates. Sorry, I mentioned them.
Yeah, I think
That I
that's a
sent an
great
email.
Okay. Okay, yeah, did you get anybody back?
I didn't hear anything back from them, so tomorrow I'm gonna
Okay,
send
or
a
yeah,
follow up.
I figured let them pick, cause they're the ones who gotta get in that meeting first,
Yes.
and I'll find them.
And then
So.
hopefully we can set that meeting, get into
Perfect.
more details. Those are the two big things I've been working on. I can.
Okay. For my VP position, like Santiago said, I met with him and gave him my opinions on his ideas that he's already listed. I've also helped with some small parts of student body president's projects, just a few. And then for my chief justice position, there's been no student conduct councils. I don't know if there's any other judicial
There's
reviews.
that judicial review one coming up.
Yeah, there's one coming up on next Monday, but I think that's about it.
Yep.
You're saying
Treasurer's not
budget,
good.
But she sent an email, didn't she?
yeah,
She
our
did.
budget is $22,027 with 42 cents. Recalling that we gave PICAP 1,000 and PA 2,075. And then she said we reviewed 2 budget proposals for this meeting, but only one group has confirmed with me and Santiago that they will be attending the meeting.
Yeah, Giovanni, he's coming.
Yeah, 6:30, I think she's gonna be out here.
That's it? That's it, Randy?
That's it.
You can touch that? That's
Just
amazing.
touch
I've got nothing.
And Tuesday,
Unless
that's
we
the review.
wanna, did we approve the,
Minutes,
from last time? No, wait,
that's your,
wait. I remember we approved the last 2
We approved last year, we just pending like the previous one.
from January 15th.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I haven't like yet.
Just 2 seconds.
Okay. We'll just go to senior class then.
Sorry.
You're good.
I'm trying to like type everything, I'm trying to remember everything everyone says.
Oh, you're good. So I met with Lakeisha Johnson yesterday. But right now we're looking at 4 rocking chairs, which is going to be about $100 a piece. They're I can't remember if they're wood or like synthetic plastic, whichever is going to work better. They're going to be white. So they're going to be over there underneath the front porch section. And right now, waiting for Otis to get back to Lakeisha and I. We found a bench. There's 2 different models. There's one that's $164, and there's one that's $256, I want to say. And they're both wood, and we would just have to get a quote for a frame to hold that swinging bench. So that would go over the one kind of in the shaded area closest to McCrory Ramp. We also have contacted the art department. They're going to put a student on doing kind of a it's like a computer generated drawing of the charge, so where you're looking from the front porch. So they're getting that done. That's going to be the senior salute shirt. So any senior that donates $5 to the senior class gift is going to be getting a shirt. And then if they do it by March 1st, then they get a reservation of their size. So right now we're aiming for 50%. So like 140 students donating. Last year they raised in total $1,100 off of donations, including President Witt's matching donations. So right now we're looking to double that and get about $2,000 donated. So a lot of that's gonna be coming from Bears Giving Day, which is late March, and then we're trying to get a lot of not pre-orders but pre-donations by March 1st. So an email is going out to the seniors later this week, and then whenever the proof comes out, that email is also going to be coming out to the seniors with more information about t-shirts and everything like that. And one more final thing, right now we are looking for ambassadors for the Facebook page that is ran by the Alumni Association and by, I'll be an administrator on there, but we're looking for people that are going to be working on getting college reunions back for whenever we're coming back to campus and just kind of do it that. So if any seniors in here would like to be a part of that, it would be awesome. We're looking for 10 people.
What did you say about the computer generated what?
gonna be a computer generated image instead of a sketch because
Gotcha.
it's just easier to put on a shirt.
Of
Um,
campus or?
It's just gonna be the charge
Oh,
and like looking from the front porch, maybe like a chair. I don't know. And sorry, we are probably the shirts we're looking at budget is gonna be about 500. So after and if everything goes as planned with the benches and everything like that, I have about $250 left in my budget. So I'd like to maybe go for another $200 to $300 to fund the shirts that we'll give away as kind of an incentive to donate.
So it's $5 a shirt, right? Pretty much.
$5. So basically, if you give $5, you get a shirt, but we have $5 in those shirts. So
Okay.
we're not making
Any
profit off of
money,
it.
but you're saying,
if
okay.
you give $10, then we double what we really have in it. So it's kind of an incentive. And yeah. Alright, I'm done. Sorry.
Okay, I went and talked to the guy about the shirts. He said that he has a new machine where he can do the different things on the back for everybody and we don't have to pay any more. But he just got it, so he wants to try some stuff out first before he says how much it's gonna be. So I'm gonna go back this week, see how much that is. I also need to get like what you actually want on the back because we can't do like junior class president all on the back of a shirt or something. Just kinda what you would want. Yeah. And I have to go to Lowe's and Home Depot about the wood and still talk to him about where to put the junior hands on LR. And that's it.
So we had the meeting today, me, and Katie, Norris, and
Otis Pitts.
and
Janet Matthews.
Janet Matthews, thank you.
And I followed up with, Aaron Bessie afterwards, so I can tell you when you finish your.
Okay, cool.
The follow-up.
So we just talked about everything and preparing for the Spring Bazaar. From what it sounded like we were ready to go. Each food vendor is going to have to supply their own power. We're gonna look to getting 2 to 4 porta potties out there.
Yeah.
2 off-duty officers we're gonna have out there, and then for a rain plan, we are looking into getting it put inside of Shuford Gym and having all the vendors move in there and the band move inside up on the top of the stairs and stuff like that. So once we will see if that's okay with Aaron and Brent and stuff like that, and then if not, we don't have a rain plan, and then we'll just have to scratch the thing and we'll pay the band what they need, and they'll be on their way. Aside from that, we've been reaching out. We reached out. One of my class council members reached out to the radio station on campus, and they said that they were going to put like a little blurb in their talks about the Spring Bazaar and stuff like that. One of my class council members reached out to the Hickory Daily Record, and they said they would be willing to put an ad in the paper for us. So we're figuring what that's going to look like. Another one of my class council members, I don't know if she met with you, Dean Katie.
Who is it?
Faith Faller, about flyers.
She has emailed me, and I told her as soon as she sends everything, brings it in, we'll be able to get it done.
Okay, cool. So we're also looking to put flyers up around campus and stuff like that. Aside from that, once the band emails us back about everything they have, then I will be able to come back to you guys with a budget proposal, and hopefully it will be in the range. I don't even want to give you a range because I don't know what the band has and what they don't have. But yeah, by the next meeting, I'll be able to give you guys a budget proposal. I'm just waiting for the band. Yeah.
What band is it?
It's called Rooted. They're out of Lenore. There's 6 people, but I think only 5 are coming to the Spring Bazaar.
Is it like a cover?
It's like bluegrass kind of country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, folk a little bit.
Cool. Exciting.
Any questions?
Let me follow up, so,
Yeah.
Aaron Bessie, when I met with him at 2 on another meeting, but he said we can have Shuford Gym. The issue that we're gonna have, and it may be part of the budget constraints that we have, is that we have to cover the floor of the main part of the gym. The upper parts we don't have to worry about, but we've gotta have something. So right now, athletics, advancement, and potentially us as an SGA, will need to have some conversations. They're talking first to find out what it would cost to buy a permanent, not a permanent cover, because you don't wanna have it all down, but have a cover that actually can be rolled out efficiently and back in to have the university have it. So, the total cost on something like that is like $12,000, which is a lot of money, of course. But if we were to either go in a little bit on it to help pay for it so we can get it sooner or whatever, it's a matter of the budget. So he was gonna let, they were supposed to be meeting, I think, either this afternoon or tomorrow. So we should know fairly soon if they would like to ask SGA for some investment money or not. But they said we can have the gym, it's just, it's gotta be covered, so we have to figure out if, you know, and it may be where we have to rent something, so it may be rental, but his assessment was it would be cheaper in the long run, and then we as student government and actually student groups would have better access to be able to use the gym for a lot of variety of things.
Yeah.
If they have a permanent way to be able to cover it up quickly. But to rent, I think it was like $5,000 to rent it and 12 to buy it, so it's like, not that either of those numbers are palatable really, but.
Okay, I'm not sure if this is, what should be important, but I used to do Winterguard, and they used to do, for my school, I came from a kind of royal kind of war school, and we took old, like highway signs, they're like really heavy duty, and we can tape them together, and we all paint them one color, and then you just roll them up, and you can roll it out on the thing, and it's just there.
I would,
Yeah, highway signs.
and that, like metal ones?
No, like they're
That's what I was
they
thinking.
hang up by like their they're like
Like the
Oh, like
advertisements.
billboard
like
signs.
the billboard
I
signs.
gotcha. My guess is because of, it's the university gym and
Yeah,
they've
they
gotta keep
probably
it,
want
they're probably gonna
less.
wanna have like the legit
the
thing, so.
legit thing.
I don't know that for a fact, but my guess is because they've had the floor redone and everything.
Just roll some tarps.
Yeah, and so there's apparently some, I don't know, but we will find out for sure, but not a bad idea, it's just, it's a matter of getting
it
enough
was
of it.
cheap, and it was like you spend like maybe all day taping together and just doing it.
I don't know, whenever I encounter something like this, I would like to look at the longer list of other campus needs.
Oh, yeah,
In
there's a lot.
relation, I mean, if you're spending student money,
Right.
something that might be
Oh,
used.
I don't
for
think
more
you should
than
pay
once.
for the whole thing by any means.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not saying you spend $12,000. I'm thinking if y'all, if they don't find the money some other way, if y'all spend $1,000 toward the bazaar and $1,000 toward it just to defray it a little, I mean, I'm
Wait,
talking
how much was the cover?
$12,000 basically is what Aaron said in terms of a cover that you would wheel in
Left out a
and you would
zero?
put it in there. Yeah, 12,000. So, which is 12,000 is what the lights cost on the volleyball court several years ago that SGA had left over, so that's why they have those two.
1,200, I was like, it's not.
The other thing that they mentioned was the need for, did you say this, Brett, about the off-duty officers, we need to
Mhm.
have a couple?
Yeah.
So lacrosse, they automatically already get 2 off-duty officers, so they're gonna check to see if they'd be willing to just go stay longer, so we won't have to actually contract with them, it's just a matter we pay for their,
Extra
from a
time.
certain time to whatever.
What do you mean off-duty officers?
So it's basically security, it's the, uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Just to make sure that, you know, with potentially a lot of people milling around. Yep. We do that for football and anything, with people tailgate out there too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
So,
something like.
yeah,
That's what
good,
I'm
good.
doing.
It's to make sure that we have people milling around who just have presence.
Okay.
It's mostly for a feeling of security, it's like when we have the, spring and flame dance,
Gotcha.
we have 2 off-duty officers there too, so. I think that was everything he said. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
For the event?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm good, sorry.
Olivia?
Next.
So I met with Dean Katie this past week to discuss the color run and different details of who I need to contact. Of who I need to contact to get different things figured out, like getting the field reserved and set up and all the different logistics. And then I'll meet again with the freshman class council later this week to further solidify all the details regarding that. And I had 2 other things that I wanted to discuss. First of all, at the last Visiting Writer Series reception, me and some other students talked with Dr. Witt about the idea of getting a fire pit on campus. And he didn't know the logistics of it, so I talked to Dean Katie. And she said that it has to be like in the ground with a cover that can lock on it because you need a permit whenever we need to light it. But we could potentially work on getting a standing permit with the city to have it like lit every Friday night between certain times. She said that the last quote was about $6,000. So I didn't know if this is something we could like, because we could put at the volleyball courts, and I feel like that's something that everyone on campus could use as long as they went through the proper procedures and everything, and it could build community and everything like that.
When I talked to Norris Yoder, he says that we can't, fire marshal, whoever it is now, won't let us have a fire on campus without getting a permit.
Yeah.
Whether, like, so, and if you're in your own backyard, you can have a fire in your fire pit all the
You
time.
have to have a permit though.
Yeah, it's,
It's,
well, it depends on what
$50 for
city, it depends on what city you're in probably too,
For
but
here.
here, they will require us to go in and get a permit every single time we wanna light a fire in that fire pit or whatever.
Right.
But the problem is, so the goal would be, cause we don't know when someone's gonna wanna have a fire, and, you know, so is there, if there's a way we can talk with the city to see if they would let us have a standing every Friday night, you know, long term, every Friday night, and then if we need to do a few other nights here and there, we seek those at that time, but it seemed like a great idea, cause the SGA was gonna do this like 8-9 years ago, they had the money, they were ready to go, they had the contractor, everything, and then we found out that they couldn't actually light it, so they just chose not to build it, cause like, well, we can't light it whenever we feel like it, that was the problem, but it wound up, I think it's a great idea, I have been pushing for this out here at the volleyball court forever, cause you can have people playing over here and doing all this. The
Throw the
problem,
losers in the fire.
that's right.
How big would it be?
Well, I mean, you're thinking, you know, you get kind of the
Big
concrete.
as a table.
No, not that big, but, you know, probably 4 or 5, you know, 4 feet across, something like that, and big enough where you could have like, you know, a set of benches and things like that, but you gotta have patio, and you gotta have all this other stuff because of the fire codes
You
and
have to
things
have
like that.
wood storage.
Who
And you
would
gotta have
be
the wood storage, and who's gonna be the one who's gonna check to bring the wood out every Friday night?
Who's gonna be the one to light it and to put it out?
Well, that's what we have to figure that out.
Could be done.
Whoever lights it has
It's
to
not that
be there
hard.
until it cools out.
You sign those things.
Right, and you would just,
Contract.
you would
If you
either
burn down the
contract with
school,
somebody
you
from
pay.
Aramark to come on Friday nights and light it at whatever time, and then have enough wood that people can't just dump anything on it, but it can't be open where people can start a fire on their own.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to have the metal grate that locks down, so you can't just start a like a true bonfire, or the furniture, you know. So,
That's a good
but I
idea.
think it's worth pursuing again. If that's the only way.
Stop.
Throw it out your window.
Feed the fire.
It'd be really cool because like you can probably do like cookouts out there.
Yeah, oh, you can do all, you can have s'mores, all sorts of stuff, which we can't do in the fireplace on the back of the dining hall. Because it's gas, one, but also it would just have sugar everywhere, we'd have
There's a
everything
fireplace
else.
in the back of it.
Yeah.
But I think,
There's
the
a
issue to me would be is if you can't get a standing order for a regular, okay, every, these nights we're gonna have a fire, and if we don't have it, then
Like the
fine,
campus
but
right here.
it's gonna be a pain in the
Probably
hiney
across
if you
from
have to actually,
in the
hey,
building,
we're on a
right?
fire, and then it takes 3 weeks to make sure you have the permit done.
Yeah, like the glass
No
doors.
organizations, we
Yeah,
can't,
I don't know. I've
It's
never
right
seen
there.
quite frankly, can't get most
That patio
organizations to
there.
plan about a week and a half in advance, so
Yeah.
planning
I've
long
never
enough in
seen
advance, and what if it doesn't get approved?
Been here for 4 years, never used
You know, so
I
we
didn't
need
know
to
there
figure out a way
was
to get a
a
standing order for it.
So if like we decide that that's something we maybe want to do later on, I'd be happy to talk to the fire marshal or whoever and see if that is a possibility. And then the second thing I wanted to bring up was the freshman class council member limit that's in the Constitution of 6 members right now. I'm still, like at the next meeting, I'm gonna work on getting the number down and potentially having some of the people that are interested in being on freshman class council be dorm representatives, like Tyler is and Nathaniel is. But I wanted to mention the possibility of raising that number if I'm not able to bring it down completely. I just didn't see like why there was a fast hard 6 for the class council.
Probably got stuck there just because somebody said, oh, that sounds like a good number.
That sounds like a great one.
Yeah. You could always propose an amendment to the Constitution if you would like. That would be another option.
Would anyone be opposed if I, does anyone have any comments about why it's 6? That's what I was asking.
How many are you making it? Like, how many would you ask for? How much more?
You have to have it where it says at least probably more than 3
Okay.
Yeah, at least 3, but no
Group
more
of
than
one
30.
president.
30 or
Yeah.
you know, some number that you really don't think you're gonna get to, but
Just in case.
It is nice kind of having more than 6 just because there's a lot more ideas coming in.
Because my goal was to have every group represented on my council, so that's why I sent out the email to everyone. But then the response was greater than I anticipated. But I don't want to like kick out 2 people because there's 2 commuters instead of just 1. So
And I feel like you've had this same group of people for
Yeah.
a while, and
Yeah, I
obviously
have,
they would have
yeah.
weeded themselves out
They're pretty
already.
dedicated.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't somebody make a motion, cause there's
Okay,
only 3
I make a
months since the
motion
semester left.
to
Jesus.
change the Constitution Part A rising classes. Wait, no, not that one. Nope. Part B freshman class number 8. To a minimum of 5 freshman class council members. Minimum of 3 freshman class council members.
I don't think there is a
There is
minimum.
a minimum.
there's no, here's what it says. Y'all know what it's, did you
Yeah,
read
it says,
read it for everybody and tell what
The
line and
president-
all that stuff.
so it's section 2, part B, freshman class, number 8. And it says, the president will then appoint the necessary freshmen needed to fill the remaining open class council seats until there are 6 freshman class council members.
And you would like to change it to what?
To a minimum of 3 freshman
No
class
more than
council members.
30.
And no more than 30.
If you can handle
You
it,
can
many
fill that
people,
many
it
people.
sounds like you go, girl.
Yeah.
More power to you on that one.
I think a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 15.
Okay.
How many do you have now?
That's good.
14, I believe.
You go, girl. Get all
How
those
many do you
people.
have?
I know.
14.
Oh my god.
More power to you.
Motion to change the minimum to
3.
3
Minimum
people,
of 3, maximum
maximum
of
of
15.
15. Is there any second?
Second.
Second from Matt. Anyone opposed? All those in favor say yes?
Yes.
Awesome.
So the wording will now be on that last sentence, or the next to last sentence. The president will then appoint the necessary freshmen needed to fill the remaining open class council seats until there are at least 3 freshman members and no more than
15.
15? Okay, so between 3 and 15, okay. I will-
And then, is that motion gonna be changed for only the freshman class council, or is that for all classes?
Well, that's a good question.
Just go.
Last question. Any
I'm good with
opinion?
mine. I'm good with my 6.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with mine.
I like having a smaller group anyway.
Yeah, me too.
But every year you might have
Yeah.
different
Yeah, I was
person.
gonna say, I would like to
Because I
change
mean,
mine.
like next year, like Brett might not be, you know, and there might be a person who might want more people. I don't
You
know.
could
That's just my
They can
opinion.
change it. I
then
mean,
alter it
make
to say, once a president is elected,
They can
any
decide.
president,
Yeah.
you know, they can appoint at least 3, no more than 15.
And it's up to the, yeah.
So is that an official motion? But I can change the wording and then bring it to you and just have it ratified or whatever. You go, yeah, that was what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay. I will bring you a nice little piece of paper next week and go. Okay.
She already answered my question. I didn't know if I had to do it or she had to do it or.
Well, you technically can do it, but since I have to upload it, we can work together tomorrow or something when you're at
Sounds
work
good.
and we'll go through it. That way I get it wordsmith right and help me whenever.
Club members?
Okay. So I want to start off by saying our Carolina Movie Theater Day had 227 LR students come out. 227.
That's awesome. I was a part of that. You're welcome.
Thank you. I was there too. So next week on February 5th, we have Defy Gravity. Students can go to student activities and get a waiver printed out by Chantel, I believe, or you can fill it out online. And the cutoff is 200 students. So we're only letting 200 students in with free socks as well. And then on the February 11th, we're doing Picture Perfect Valentine, and it's like you can come and like paint a picture frame or decorate it however you want. And we're also giving out candy grams that you can send to like a friend around campus or a significant other, and we'll have like certain messages you can choose and pick out. And we have 40 stuffed animals, and after that it'll be like bags of candy that you can give to them.
That's cool.
And then we have on the 14th, we'll actually be handing them out on Valentine's Day. So we'll like email the people who got a candy gram, and they'll come and pick it up and get it that way.
Oh, so they're gonna come. That's easier.
Yeah.
Since not having to chase.
So they'll like receive an email saying like you've received like a candy gram, and then they'll come pick it up in Cromer from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we also changed how we're doing CAB meetings. We're doing monthly meetings called Breakfast with CAB, and anyone's invited to come to kind of like advertise CAB more and get more people to come out and like join CAB. And so we're only doing a once a month meeting, and there'll be food and drinks provided on Mondays. And that's all I have.
Housing representatives, anything that you would like to say?
So nothing has changed since the last time we met because.
Sorry, give me 2 seconds. I was ready for.
Cool. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you forgot about me?
Why is there not a? Oh, there it is. Okay. Eisenhower.
Yes.
Cool. Go ahead.
Okay, so our freshman class council is meeting on Friday, so there may be more things at the next meeting, but we haven't met since the last SGA meeting, so there's nothing new. The only thing is the dryer that's broken and the washer that's broken are still not fixed.
Not okay.
Got put in those
I just
maintenance
wanna know
requests
how many
over and over.
Maybe even a week.
4 of our dryers aren't
Oh,
working.
no.
Now,
We've had a broke toilet
it's,
Oh,
Oh,
do we know we're getting
okay, so it's the toilet or the washer.
washer dryer?
Yeah,
And
I heard
a
something
toilet.
over here, toilet.
I got
Washer,
washer
dryer.
I do not recommend
Yeah.
that at all.
Is the water fixed?
Okay, the water
If I
in
can-
my room is now hot.
shower, it's just the
I'm not sure about everyone
shower
else.
and
And
toilet.
she's also in my suite, so like, we share the same shower, so we can.
You can't talk
Yeah.
for anybody else.
Morgan's
Yeah.
awful.
Okay.
Morgan's
It's still
always been
bad.
awful. I'm just gonna go
Oh,
ahead and
it's
put that out.
like-
Washer, shower, washer, dryer, and what else?
She said that the water was warm in her, or hot in her room,
Our
but she
room, the
couldn't.
water
water
hot
got
now.
improved for our floor.
Okay.
But I'm not sure about the others.
Okay.
Because like I said, we haven't met again
Don't
yet.
get your
I'll look on
hopes
the
up.
water.
It's
No.
been like that since, yeah.
It won't change if I knock it down one day.
Hey, don't say that. Morgan's a great place to live.
It has like
Wasn't built
the
right.
view of the
Past
football
a
field.
little bit.
It wasn't built right though.
The best thing about Morgan was just being at the football field.
No,
Oh,
it's,
yeah, I
yeah,
can't
the
count how many
placement
times I
was
just
great.
watched the game from my room instead of just like going out. Be a teacher anyway. I'm gonna gotta get used to it.
We'll be all sliced up.
We're gonna have arthritis, you know, we're gonna get bald scissors somewhere.
Yeah. I know.
I'm sorry?
Is this the same washer and dryer where that female, her leggings got destroyed
Yes.
in? Okay.
Have you heard Jonathan talking about it or anything? I didn't know.
She came by when I was at work.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I was making sure that she was in a different.
No, that was her.
Building
She
or
told me
whatever.
about it the other day.
Okay.
Her leggings got messed up.
My Lululemon leggings.
Oh, those are like $100, man. That's
Yeah, those are like
About cheap
$100 leggings.
I mean, or you could be like me and just go to
How
like
much are those?
Target.
Yeah.
There's $65 at Target. That's a lot for me.
Yeah, I feel like it's 20.
Why would you be buying leggings anyway?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
it's just those.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Danielle, you would like to say something?
Yeah, so I mean, the only thing that's really going on in Morgan is the shower. That's been going on since forever. And
What's wrong with them?
the shower, they're just cold.
Oh.
I mean, they're like, you have a 1 in 10 chance that you'll get a warm shower.
I haven't figured out what is the time that it's hot. One day I took a shower with like decent hot water. 2 days ago, since 2 days ago, I'm freezing. I'm really seriously
Yeah.
thinking of going to McCrory or whatever.
Yeah.
Clothes, shower, and come back.
No, I know like the RA downstairs, she doesn't even like shower at Morgan anymore. Like she just
What's
gave up.
any particular floor or just
It's
anything
all
else?
the floors. Like I know like some of the girls downstairs I'm good friends with, they said it's just as bad down there. They've been ice cold and they're ice cold
Ask
upstairs
about that
too.
too.
One of our friends on one of the girls' halls upstairs is freezing cold too.
Yeah, and they are downstairs too. So.
Emily? I'm sorry.
So, since last meeting, we had the community breakfast, which was on the 18th, and I don't know how many people came, but we had quite a few, and then we had planned on they giving a discount, or the MR giving us a discount. When I went to talk to him after the breakfast, they said they were donating it, so they ended up sponsoring the whole event for us, so we didn't have to pay anything from the budget. I know. And while I was out there, I talked to Salty and Matt and Cassidy at one point about doing a cookout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Shaw Plaza, and doing like a kind of like the end of the year kind of thing where we grill out and have the cafeteria people do the sponsoring, and not sponsoring, but like helping with the food and just having people come out and play
How many
games and
people
stuff.
showed up at the breakfast?
I'm not really sure because some people didn't come into the room, and then because some people were just.
Guesstimate.
I would say roughly about maybe 20 to 25. We had them coming in and out and all the time. And I know some of the adult bears were there, some of that commute, and then some of the freshmen and other ones.
Awesome. So if I'm not mistaken, we should be having a guest outside.
Yeah, you should have at least one. I know there's somebody out there.
Yes, Giovanni.
Yeah.
All right.
Because we hear about 6:30.
So I think some of you received like the year's email with Giovanni's proposal. So if you want to check your email, yes,
Yep, NCSL.
it should be in there.
And I will tell you, SGA's been funding this for a long time, for many, many years. Good. We need to, for the meetings, do we have that? Can you send it to us?
Yeah.
Just tell them here's what we're gonna do.
Did you ever find that
Either do
SGA
or not. Either come and pick it up or.
There ain't no time for it. I'm gonna be honest.
You can
Yep,
be in that
he-
side.
he
Mine
all
have disappeared. I might have got rid of it. I don't know. I'll tell you about it later. I can describe it to you.
Okay.
I was worried.
So if you like, you can like kind of give us an explanation of what the you guys are working on, so we get familiar
Tell us
with
about
it.
your NCSL
Yes.
project.
We're from the North Carolina Student Legislature. It's a group of different universities that come together, meet at different universities, and sort of propose resolutions. And resolutions are generally ideals or policies that we at the NCSL body would like to see put into effect in our government at the North Carolina state level. And at session on these resolutions that are passed, we go to Raleigh in April generally, and we have session in the actual legislature building of North Carolina. And with this, any bills passed there are sent to current Governor Roy Cooper's desk, and he directs those to the proper committee. Or if it's more of a budget thing, he allocates it in his budget. And he can do this all at his own leisure, but about 60% of everything that's been passed at our North Carolina sessions have been incorporated into the statutory law of North Carolina. So you also learn the proper parliamentary procedures on how the government works and how to debate things in a governmental setting. So it also has a lot of like leadership building capabilities, and so it's very useful in that sense of creating better leaders, as well having a greater impact on the society, as there is an capability of laws being built from the gives students the opportunity to give an impact on the state level.
Great. So I can see this like a whole semester like event, right?
Yeah.
They do a variety of different events. and I think, if I'm not mistaken, y'all may know better, and you may know, Dr. Brandis, that we've been doing, Lenore Ryan has been part of NCSL for like 30 years, I mean, almost as long as it's been going on, so this is not a, ta-da, here's this thing that is all of a sudden coming up, so.
How many people are part of?
9 members.
And just checking with you, the total budget request is for 4,205, right?
Yes.
Any questions for them?
I may have missed this. Who's your faculty advisor?
Dr. Mangos.
Is he attending, or has he attended, or?
Yeah, he normally is fully student run, so they don't have any sort of like alumni board or professors that actually run the organization.
Okay.
But he will attend when we have the events here, which will be next month. He attends in Raleigh,
Okay.
but it's fully student run.
Okay, but he covers his own expenses.
Oh yeah.
Okay. See, did you receive funding last year?
Yes.
Any other question?
It is a 501c3 nonprofit.
501c3, which means it's just nonprofit status. So,
Okay.
Did y'all have to,
Go ahead.
oh, sorry.
No, you go.
Did y'all have to pay anything last year out of pocket for each other?
Out of pocket, no, not to my knowledge. The only thing I think that we've ever paid out of pocket is just like food expenses. But
and y'all do the fundraisers though, each year, have you
Yes.
not,
Yes.
with the cards and all that stuff?
Mhm.
But you've raised 150. Is that fundraising project over?
It's ongoing.
It's ongoing.
Yeah.
So this is just what you've raised so far.
Yeah, that was the numbers from December when we got those. Yeah, it's still ongoing.
Okay. Do you know how much you normally raise?
It all varies on the amount of people that are in
Yeah,
every
sure.
year. So, off the top of my head, I wouldn't be able to give like a
Okay.
average number.
Good.
Usually SGA, like the only group that found this project, or how else is it?
They have some discretionary funds, I think they have $700 and something left, or 200 something, I think, out of, there's 2 budgets. So one is university budget, that the university puts a little bit in for Dr. Mankos to go and travel with them. And then SGA has been funding them primarily with, in addition to their, yeah. So they have a club. It is a club on campus that was approved many years ago. And then because it's a class, the university helps with a little bit, make sure that they have an advisor that can go with them. But SGA's been funding them since I've been here. And like I say, most years they don't give them everything, but this is a great experience. I mean, to have that kind of impact across the state is kind of cool. Kind of like model you in a little bit, but at the state level.
And are you requesting all of this money at one time, or since it's spread out, could it be spread out over time?
I would say ideally it could be all at one time, but I mean, we're not opposed to getting it in installments.
Right, because am I reading this correctly? It's different places with different.
Right. The bulk of it would be for Raleigh, which would be in the first week of April.
Yeah. So, okay.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you guys.
So now what you do is you head off, and since yours not here, they will discuss, take a vote, and they will be emailing you.
Yeah, we will communicate you there.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
What about?
Just click on it.
Just like that.
You remind me so much of my mom.
Oh. Okay, so that's.
That's my last sheet.
Okay.
Thank goodness. That's a lot of sheets to be cutting up.
I've already cut like
Which doesn't make sense, like, if
A
you
lot.
have all this.
I know.
nothing left it out.
I cut some at
Yeah, I
school
think-
before I even left.
Which way do I want to go?
I didn't leave till like 5 o'clock. I was like, I gotta go. I gotta go get food. I gotta go get folders.
There's more.
So have they already gone in January though?
That's it.
So they're just wanting to
Unless
be
he said more than
reimbursed?
one.
Student
may
teaching
have-
is taking
That's
up
my
my
guess.
life.
Tuesday.
Allow me to stay, make it bigger, but stay in the budget, so she's saying here.
Yeah.
I had
She
one
understands
student
that's the
teacher
budget.
when I was in
Add this
like
up.
5th grade.
Right, okay,
I didn't want to be a teacher, and look at me now.
yeah, so let me go back.
I think very few people
You said something
want to be a
about-
teacher at first.
But
Okay.
I want to teach
Maybe there's more. Cool.
do not let elementary schoolers
So
that come
why
here.
didn't you
That's
become a
all
teacher?
stars.
Oh, there is more than one thing here.
I was exercise science when I came to MS. And then I was like, it's not for me.
Yeah.
And then I always loved history, and I was like, oh, I think I'd be a really good
So those are
teacher,
all the
but
ones
like
that we
with
need.
middle schoolers.
Right.
Okay, we received a flag.
They say that's like the roughest.
But I can
Yeah,
see
and
where else.
I love it though. Like I have 8th graders, and I love it.
Okay.
Courses,
Aren't-
training, thrill to do this.
I don't know how it
I love
is,
it. Don't
but
put- no.
some of these is
They're
not.
totally different over.
Yeah.
Get
Oh, wait.
out of
That's
here.
why, yeah. this is what-
All about them Redskins, bro.
Wait, you said we-
Yeah, I'm in the exercise
I don't-
science right
so-
now.
I'm a nursing major.
The
It seems like a lot of people are exercise science.
I'm not from around here. I don't know.
Like, a lot.
I know.
I might
Our
switch
girls
it,
basketball
But
team's
if I do,
undefeated.
it'll be
though.
like the same. It'll be community health if I do switch
Yeah.
it. But I mean, honestly, I could change it to religion if I wanted and still go to OT school as long as I have my prereqs. So it doesn't matter what I do. I just chose that because it like
Our
makes
8th
more
grade girls
sort of-
basketball team is
A lot of
undefeated.
nursing majors switch to exercise science.
Really?
Yeah, but
I'm so
exercise
proud.
science is
I
kind
have-
of like a specialty.
And
So
most
it's
of
All
not
of my
like
kids cheer.
focused
I'm
on,
not- I have one kid that plays
like,
basketball, and
the
he-
tendons
No
and all
more than
that. Like, I
$150
heard like they took a
the rest of them were cheerleaders.
guys have to take a class
But,
just specifically
but again,
anatomy.
this is one, like, I can go back through the.
I was
list.
either gonna be at Arndt or I was gonna be at
SGA's funding
Riverbend.
pretty heavily.
No,
I don't
it's not
know
for me. I
how
just want to
many.
be in
Riverbend's kind of a dream though, so I'm really glad I got Arndt.
3,000 at the very
I think
most,
yeah.
but.
Which I put Arndt as my number one.
Yeah, but
It's a lot of studying.
But it's like rewarding.
yeah, it's fun.
That's the
My
reason
friends
why
at
I
Granby.
don't want to help people.
Me too.
Like,
Because I just calculated on my phone. Because at first I wasn't understanding it.
some
Huh?
nurses.
8.
More than the average.
Yeah.
Some
Well,
nurses
Casey Brewer.
don't
Well, there's nothing official.
like
That's all
Really?
I'm
care
saying.
that hard.
Like I say, that
Yeah.
y'all
They're just doing their job just to do it, you know?
Yeah.
It's money.
Yeah,
$4,000
she teaches
like,
8
I
science.
went to college and got this degree. so
I'm the
I'll
only
make them
social
money.
studies.
See,
There's
it
2
really makes a
science and then I'm
difference.
social
But I'm
studies.
like compassionate.
It
I
matters.
help.
That's how I'm with OT, like I want to do that. Like honestly,
I'm not
I go
sure.
and like volunteer every single summer.
Right.
Like
I did a
just
nurse
if I don't get paid,
internship.
I just
Same.
do it just to do it. It's fun.
I know. I did a nursing internship to make sure like I like that.
Are we talking about this yet?
Yeah, they're calculating stuff, trying to figure out a different proposal.
Without
Here's what we'd like to
discounting
do.
the
That's what I want. I'm gonna get my
Oh, yeah,
master's.
dude.
That number,
I think
number should
numbers
already taken out.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that number has to worry about the past presidents. No, budget budget.
Yeah, the budget last year. had already
Oh, I
taken
didn't
out.
go make copies.
You gotta
Really?
make sure I
Yeah,
don't
if
for
you're
a fact.
Yeah.
I think it's already been taken out.
You
So
get
graduate school, it's like
If
20%
you
off.
only look at.
if you go to LR,
Yeah.
like in
which
LR
is
graduate
the
school.
snacks, the drinks of 35%.
I talked to the people over
Are
there.
we paying for
That
snacks and
35
then
people
yours?
is when we're hosting it, so all these other schools are coming
Include
here.
the March.
Oh,
email there.
okay.
So
Not
that
the
one, that's
audit.
why that was so high, it's so
Include the
they're
in-person
hosting other
session,
schools coming here first.
the dues and
Because it's from an IC,
registration,
and then the next one they go to.
It's like all
3,440. So we're leaving out auto expenses and reimbursement.
once you graduate and have a degree, you don't get like financial help anymore.
What?
It's just almost 35.
Don't talk about it. I gotta get a real
Oh.
good job.
How many is it?
9, so 300,
42.
yeah. I
Yeah.
would do more than what
I mean, I don't pay that now, but
What,
Yeah.
what is
because
the
I have a bunch
extent?
of financial aid scholarships.
not much.
Still,
So it's kinda like,
$700.
it's kinda like the model you went.
three
I
years
have been
of
pushing
graduate school
for a
like,
long
all
time.
of
Yes,
mine
exactly. That's
is-
exactly
mine's
what it's
all
like.
mine.
I've been pushing for them
I don't
to
know
have
if the
course
skirt turn out
fees
really
to
good.
take
Yeah,
this
the skirt.
for years, but the course fee would only be $150, which will get them
I was about
to
to
do all
say,
these
I'm gonna
things. So
sign
even
up
if you
for
do a
that
normal
class.
course fee, which is about 150, because I've got like 14 course fees for Williams, I'm like, I've got $1,000 in course fees for him this year. It's not gonna pay for what the university has committed to doing. So that's one of the problems. And so I think this was before I was doing this, they've had a club that they've been coming to SGA to ask for help and, you know. Cause it is a club, it is an organization, and they do it themselves, but there's not a lot of people involved, and so that's the only kind of the downside with this one. Much like Model UN, you know, there's 5, 10, 15 people, and they have to go do these things, one way or the other. But it may be where, you know, you give them a certain amount, and then you say, we need to have another conversation
I mean,
with
and
the
there's
university
still
having better support
fundraising.
for this.
So,
And they'll get some more money from their
Yeah, if we
fundraising.
can get like $1,000
So-
ourselves, if we only put it down.
So if we're only counting 9 people and we give them everything, it's gonna be $467 a person.
And
And
give them free.
That's a lot of money.
That's 2,700.
2,700.
Yeah, because if you look at,
Yeah,
if we
I was
given
just thinking
anybody
that.
else
Yeah,
300 or more,
no,
that's
300 is
more
pretty
than generous, yep.
300 is
Yeah.
generous.
go with that.
Can we
I was
propose,
thinking like
Yeah,
2,000.
so,
can we propose that we only give any club max of 300 per person?
You can definitely come up with policy and procedures for how you operate. I don't know if you want to have it where it goes into the Constitution, because every group will have slightly different. But I would say, you know, that's the hardest thing I think for any SGA is, you know, deciding whether one group has more worth, or because this group, I love this group over here, but yet they only asked for $100, so we gave them the whole 100. But the other group has less worth, but they have more needs, so it's a matter of wrestling with that. But I mean, I would say you don't wanna give a lot. I mean, you wanna give enough that they can do their thing, but there's gotta be some skin in the game,
So,
a little bit. So,
motion to give the state legislative club $2,000.
Should we wait for Caitlin?
That wouldn't be 9 people, $300, though, would it?
No, it's
No.
it's slightly less. So 9 people divided by 200 is like
2,000.
2,000. I'm sorry, 2,000.
It's like 200.
222,
Yeah.
which is
still a little higher than what
I think it's a lot higher.
Who else have you given money to?
ICAP last week was $100 a person.
The
Right.
PA,
PA was
PA was requesting like same amount, total amount.
Right.
And they got 2,000, 2,000 as well.
Gotcha.
since this is a class requirement. I think there needs to be kind of a look next year into course fees. Like
I
the
think
ski class here
Could get
is
good
all
players,
course
I mean,
fees.
it gets.
Yeah, cause, isn't the riding horsemanship fee, is
Oh,
it
there's
like
lots of
$500?
fees for other classes,
Yeah.
but I don't know why.
Like you don't see the ski club coming in here to help.
Although they could.
offset. They could. I mean, you could totally do that.
We did class.
There's
It was
ski
like
class.
I absolutely.
That's when this becomes
And now
tricky,
we
is
look
they have
at
a
the
club
recommendation.
and a class. It's a class, but they
Paid
don't
for
really
for
class to be in a
student
club,
activities
but
and
they,
clubs and
if they're in the
organizations like
class,
that.
they have to
It's
be
3
in
rows.
this thing, so
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah.
I learned how to ski.
When we
longboard.
did scholarship
Understand
day,
it.
I worked at the student activities
You know, they
booth
have,
for CAB, and I was also with the graduate assistant for student activities, and like
No
we
good.
were showing everyone the clubs, and there was like 3
So
rows
you have a
of
motion on the
different
floor,
clubs that LR
y'all have, wait, you have
has.
to have a discussion first.
I know, we have a lot of clubs.
what?
Can you repeat so she-
Yes, I would like to motion to give this club $2,000, which is $222 a person.
Okay.
Is there
Discussion.
any-
Gonna have a discussion.
Discussion of what you think about giving the Giovanni's Club $2,000. That is roughly about 222 per person. So it's half of the amount they are requesting.
That leaves us with about 20 grand in our budget.
Yeah. So far we got 22,000.
Yeah, we have to buy our fire pit.
Yeah.
Our bid.
Fire pit.
Rent's Bazaar, and
Fire
we still
pit.
got- we still
Yeah,
got
we got the
a lot.
bazaar, we'll have more expensive.
We got the
and-
festival,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
We have 8
Some
meetings
sort of,
left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 meetings left. It's been 6,000 or 20,000.
I'm thinking we
All right.
can do it.
You can do it.
Easily.
You can always give them that amount, and if it's not enough, they can come back and ask again.
Just
Or fun, yeah, or both, I mean, you know.
fundraising, yeah.
Yeah.
I would, if that's the plan, I would like to tell them that.
Yeah, we can communicate. They can.
You know, not like have them, well, you think we should go back, just say,
Right, just say, here's what it is.
here's what it is. Come back
We
to us
advise you
if
to
there's an
fundraise
issue.
more.
Great.
I'd be grateful for
$2,000.
after budget.
So, motion for $2,000.
Yeah.
Second of Olivia. Anyone opposed?
All four.
All four say yes?
Yes.
Also opposed say nay? Great. So the motions carry over. Sorry, I'm so bad with the names. The North Carolina student legislation will receive $2,000 for the events of this semester, and then they'll be welcome to re-ask for money later on.
And highly encouraged to continue fundraising.
Yes. Victor, would you mind communicating that to you?
Yes, one second.
Yeah, here you go.
Okay, when, sorry.
If you would like to communicate to the decision.
Okay. To, let them know about fundraising. and
$2,000 that they are receiving, and then they are welcome to come back later and strongly encourage you to do more fundraising.
Are you sending that now?
I'm just typing it in, like, in the minutes, so I'm
Okay,
gonna copy and paste it, put it in
Yeah,
the email.
I kinda think that maybe you should send that to your, and your should
Yeah.
send it out.
Yeah.
I agree. Just thinking about it.
So I was in the science building today on the first floor of George Hall, which is the newer part of the science building. The water fountain that the SGA's got, it's got like a zero, like a line, and
So it needs a filter.
it needs to change. Yeah, it doesn't have like a blinking light or anything, it's just like it won't.
And this is
Doesn't have,
in
like,
George Hall or in the old part?
George Hall.
Is there any way to, when yours sends that, to say like we need to, talk to the club or whatever to have a certain amount that they have to produce every year?
I think that's probably a good idea. That, I mean, all clubs need to have them, because that's one of the questions I'll usually ask is, how much have you fundraised? What have you put into this? Because I think that's important for students to have some, if it's important enough to be a part of it, it's important enough to put a little bit of money into. And I would say that would be a good thing for the minutes to reflect that there's been a discussion, or there is a discussion that there needs to be either a set amount or there's a percentage or something like that. Yeah, that would be nice. We got money. So this is how you can, if you ever go to one of the other sessions of talking about life at LR, but I know they've had some, I would say encourage people to say, we would either want fees, because you're paying fees, it's just wrapped all into one thing. But the way student government budget, just so you know, if you don't know this, student life, all my unit is given, here's the money. CAB, all health services, it goes for counseling, career development, every single thing under student life who I support in my role. That's where all the money is. So basically we're like, okay, how much did SGA have last year? So if we get more students, it's like, okay, well, I have no more money to give out, so this is it. So that's why you basically get what you get every year. It's just like, boom. If it were earmarked in terms of fees, and your fees were delegated out, now the only danger with that is some people say, well, I don't use the gym, I don't want a gym fee, or I don't want a fee for football games, or I don't want a fee for whatever. So it gets kind of dicey there, because they're basically, these are all your fees, you're paying all the fees. But if at least it was earmarked, then it would be a standardized, every year, based on, okay, enrollment is this, here's how much money we're gonna get per student, and you could actually know. Because right now, essentially, you get about $30 per student, is what basically you're getting. And so anybody who gets more than $30, which not everybody on campus is coming asking for $30, but, basically everybody puts in about $30 to this pool that you have the obligation to delegate. So that's how you're getting the money. And only because CAB has more expensive things to put on than you do, typically, that's why they have more money than the other. So there you go.
Already came in.
Oh, good.
About student life,
Thanks.
student life, positions, and like just
Awesome.
more fun.
Thank you. Yeah, more positions, less.
More
I want
full-time.
GAs, but I want full-time people
Yeah,
too.
full time.
I like my GAs, they're wonderful, but I want full-time people as well.
Good. So that was like the only guest for today. I think we are receiving another proposal, but not for this meeting. any last thought about like if we want to go forward with the app and try to do it, or what do you guys think?
That sounds like a great,
I
great
really
idea.
like the idea.
Awesome idea.
So I can already tell you, the development account for iOS is $100 a year plus like the taxes, usually $9. The last time I bought it, and then get a new domain, it's around $15 or $17, and the tax. So all should be no more than 125, including taxes.
So are you saying you'd like to be, you can't ask this, but
What I-
reimbursed for this?
That's what I would like to do. It's I
Okay,
will
so they-
come next meeting. Hopefully, all the apps are gonna be built and submitted to the stores, the app stores, and then I will bring the invoices and get reimbursed.
Is there a motion on the table then to reimburse our president for his expenses, because somebody's got a motion besides him?
Yeah.
'Cause he can't vote.
No.
Motion to reimburse Santiago on app expenses.
Great. So motion to reimburse myself.
A second.
Okay. It one of the two of them, either Olivia or Brett. You can call for the vote since he can't call for the vote now, since you're the acting vice president.
Okay,
Any discussion?
is there any discussion? I don't have to do the second, right, because we already have them.
Yeah, you got a second.
Any for, say yes.
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 Any opposed, say nay. It carries.
There you go.
Alright, Santiago,
Yes.
some money back.
Yep.
Do what?
Oh,
Don't.
it's like, and I don't care, but it's like, all right, we'll do it for everybody.
15 or
150, 125, 150 tax.
Cool.
Yeah. Then in the Eagles, you're gonna have the exact number, but it should be around that.
Before we go, I wanted to thank those of you who came to the MLK Day celebration. I hope you enjoyed it. Doubled the size of the crowd last year, and it was a really powerful speaker too, so thank you. It's important to have the SGA at those events, just like at football games.
Also, before we leave, about the shirts, does everybody still want it on the back where their specific thing, or do we want to just go something general on the front? Or how do you want to do it? Because a short sleeve, regular, something on the front and the back is $9 at this place.
Pretty cheap.
I'm not
Yep.
gonna go for the day shirts.
Say.
I have 3 things going at this place, so I can add one
No,
more.
wait, what is this place?
Inline in Taylorsville.
Is what type?
Line?
Yes. It's all one. Yeah, it's all one word though.
Inline.
INLINE. I think that's the name.
Does anybody have to answer her questions, make a thought?
So what was it?
Front, back, or just front?
Well, considering it's $9, I think.
If we want to wait and see what the price is for when he gets his new machine going, if we want our like vice president or whatever on the back, which we'll have to narrow down to
VP.
something,
VP.
yeah, something.
Not
Fresh.
bold letters.
Yeah, exactly. Or if we wanna just do, front and back shirt, just an SGA.
I would like just SGA. Yeah. No position.
Is everybody okay
Yeah,
with
I
that?
think just front back with the regular SGA.
SGA, no position.
Okay. Does anybody have like what we have had
I've
previously?
got last year's.
I can.
I mean,
We
I
had one
used to
last
see
year.
last year's shirt. I wear it all the time.
There you go.
Yeah.
We got shirts last year?
We didn't get one.
I got
It
one
was,
from
it
Liz.
was,
It was 2 years
The
ago.
year before, I was about to say, cause I got
It
the
was
wrong
Ben's for,
one.
yeah, it was 2 years ago.
I had the commuter one and I was.
I know it,
kinda
you still had the
For
wrong
those
one.
of you who know what it was that, do y'all like that one?
It had like,
It looked nice.
yeah, it had the full title on it.
It has the full title on the
Had
back.
the full title.
The
It
front was
a
just
great
like the
shirt.
little SGA thingy and it was like
It has like a
LR
big
SGA.
LR SGA, and then
Kinda
on
like
the
a
back
collegiate
it's got
looking
the year,
style
like the
letters.
year, and then the.
I had
Your
advisor.
Yeah, you got a visor.
So do
I
y'all
was the
wanna
only
wait
person that
until
got
we
the
do, or he does, get this new machine up and running and see how that price is? Or do y'all wanna go ahead and have the shirts before the end of the semester? You wanna?
I would do
wait?
number 2, just to, I mean, the second one, go ahead and get it done.
Yeah.
Cause I mean,
And
you don't wanna,
it's
you don't wanna,
$9.
That's what he said for another club that I was gonna guess. And then what color do y'all wanna do?
choices.
He can get any type of shirt. I'm getting baseball T-shirts for Free Health Club this time. Yeah, they are.
I'm gonna do cardinal red. That's
You gotta be,
right color,
if you get red, you gotta make sure it's the right red.
See, that's the only thing.
Get black.
Black, gray, or heather or something like that. One of those three.
It's not white.
Not white. I love gray.
Yeah, I like gray.
gray. It's like that
It shows sweat.
gym color.
It does show sweat.
Yeah.
I will say, I still like gray.
Well, if you do charcoal gray, it doesn't do that.
Yeah, I like
That's
charcoal
true,
gray.
charcoal
Gray,
gray.
like the color of your
I'm
sweatshirt.
splitting hairs.
Yeah. Huh?
Charcoal
The color
gray
of
is
her
nice.
sweatshirt would be.
You like that?
I like
nice
charcoal
color.
gray.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
That's a
doing
nice
for.
color.
Okay.
But then, is it short sleeve? Did you say? Or?
I can get either. I think long sleeve would probably be I think he said $12.
Let's stick with
I think.
Yeah, let's do short sleeve.
Yeah, $9. I was about to say, by the time we get it, you're ain't gonna be
Exactly,
wearing a
yeah.
long sleeve anyway.
Exactly.
Sorry. It's just.
And then what about the color, like the letters?
White.
White, yeah.
So charcoal gray with white short sleeve. And can somebody send me? Does anybody have like a template or the picture?
I
of
probably
last
have a
year?
picture of last
Okay.
year's. I'll dig up.
So we taking the
And
same.
what do y'all want on the back if we're not gonna have any specific titles? We
What
could
was
have-
it 2 years ago?
It had the actual
It
title on
It had
it.
a specific
So like
title.
ours had advisor on the back and it had president, vice president, computer, which was not what she had. It was cab rep, but, so, but it had like your title.
It still stayed around, so that said a lot.
I don't think it said like freshman class president, I think it just said president,
Yeah.
or maybe it said class president is all it said, just in case.
So what do y'all want if we're gonna have it just general? We could have like exec board or.
You could have the logo, you could have SGA.
I like the logo.
And then
Oh, we
the
could do a
SGA
big
logo on the
logo.
back.
Logo.
Yeah,
There
there's
is an
that.
actual
Yeah.
SGA logo that was developed several years ago.
That'd be cute.
You know how those t-shirts have like letters?
All right.
You got your marching orders.
Oh
Yeah.
What's the front?
Forming
Just.
it.
I would do something like
That'd
that
be so
one,
cute. I don't know if that would
LRU,
work.
SGA or something
If,
like that.
if you make like a design kind of thing, just send it to me.
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
do it.
Oh, like
I'll
the
send you-
beach
I'll find it
shirts.
tomorrow
Okay.
Like the ones you get on the beach.
I like the $9 idea too. I was like,
Thanks for doing all that work.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And if he actually needs like what it looks like, I can print it to you.
yeah, yeah. He said that was easier with the.
Can I add one
PA
thing,
one.
just so, I wanna follow up, just so y'all know what I'm going to do on your behalf, and if you don't want me to do this, you could just go ahead and just argue with me right now. So the wood carving I was telling you about, the piece of art, so luckily Nolan Garrett has found text messages between he and the artist that basically agree that it's going to be the price, the original price, and not this exorbitant amount, so I'm going to say, you know, we're gonna just not worry about the amount that she spent to buy the wood, cause if she's gonna get the art piece back, she can have that, cause that's her money that, however, we no longer want it. It is, LSJ is not paying $5,000 to own a piece of art that was agreed on for $1,600. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna just say, here's the text message, you agreed to this, so if she comes back and says, fine, I'll agree to this, then you're out $1,000. Cause then you did, it was agreed on by one of the former officers, so would that sound reasonable?
Yeah, but I would prefer if you just put that in words and not.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna send
forward-
this.
not
Oh,
forward
no. I'm gonna put it in words and
Yeah,
say,
that sounds
you know,
good.
I will show that, but either we will pay you another $1,000 for the art like we originally agreed, or you may come and get it and take it back home.
Katie, did we not pay for it last year?
Cause it
think
never
we're
got
waiting
done,
on
we
the
weren't gonna pay any money for it until it got
Oh,
finished.
so.
Yeah.
And so when she brought it to bring it in, she's like, oh, I'll give you the bill in a minute. And so when she brought it in, she's like, well, here's the bill, and it was this bill, and it said $5,000-something, $5,080, and I'm like, that's not what was agreed on.
So we
But it's
have,
already in the building, and I'm like,
so we
I
have
have.
given her money or haven't?
we gave, a year ago, they gave her enough money to buy the wood.
Oh,
It was
to
like
do it on.
$600.
It was $600 for the wood, and then now instead of having an extra $1,000 for the actual art, she wants $2,080 for us to borrow the art and have it hung up.
that just saves.
And she still owns it, and then $5,000 if we own it outright, but I'm like, that's not what was agreed on, so
Yeah,
anyway,
go for it.
we've got that,
Yeah,
so.
I agree.
If
Tell
If
her
y'all
we
are okay
have a
with me
fire
telling
pit,
her,
too.
yeah, it's either there or.
We got this new fire pit if you don't come together.
Anyway, I just wanna make sure y'all are okay with me just saying.
Executive session.
If she does agree on that, will you have her like sign?
Oh, yeah.
Not just making
I
sure.
will write up a new contract and say,
Yeah.
this is what you said, if you were willing to honor this, we will pay you $1,000. So that, I will spend up to $1,000 on your behalf, because that, we did agree to that, but I'm not gonna spend more than that.
Yeah. Oh, man. The rocking chair.
Excellent.
Motion to adjourn. I can't make
Yes,
that.
second.
I can't make that.
Found that.
There we go.
Thanks,
Hey,
everyone.
DJ, I have a quick question.
Okay, I will sit here and I'll wait for your questions.
I feel bad. This happens every. Did you send your earring back?
That's what I'm looking for
Oh, yeah.
now.
I didn't think so. I was like,
It's
where's on the
worth the,
floor?